Morning Rise Ministry. To continue our study, our devotional through the book of Proverbs, we're going to dig into chapter 27 today. We're not going to go over the entire chapter, but we're going to touch on a few verses that I want to point out. Go ahead and pause the video now to read the whole chapter or finish it afterwards if you can't pause it right now. You'll notice when reading the full chapter, though, that more than half of the verses in this chapter are involving your relationships with others. A few examples of that are verse 6. I'll read it. Verse 6 says, "Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but deceitful are the kisses of an enemy." Simply saying our friends' corrections in our lives produce godly results, while the compliments of an enemy may not. Verse 10, another example says, "Do not forsake your own friend or your father's friend, and do not go to your brother's house in the day of your calamity. Better is a neighbor who is near than a brother far away." Again, simply stated, you want to stick with your true friends. Those genuine relationships that you have, they may be more reliable than the blood relationships with some family members. As you see by those two verses and a few more, there's an emphasis on relationships in this chapter. And I want to talk about a positive relationship goal you should have with those around you. Verse 17, it's short. It says, "Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another." This is an easy one to memorize. It's short, it's quick. The relationships you pursue will have an influence on your life. It will play a part in shaping your personality, your interests, your character. This can be a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. If your friends like to talk inappropriately, you may start to talk in that way. If your friends don't obey their parents, you might see that and start to talk back or push back against your parents when they ask you to do something as well. But just like how bad influences can shape your life, this verse refers to how good influences can have a positive impact on your life. It says, iron sharpens iron. Well, the process of sharpening iron is done by grinding it on an even harder surface, making it sharp. So how does this sharpening of iron relate to us and our relationships? Well, in the sharpening of iron with iron, both pieces actually change. The sharpener and the one being sharpened. If you're not seeing the picture, it's the, let's say the mentor is the sharpener, and you could be looking to the mentor for guidance. You can be being sharpened. In the same manner as that act of sharpening, our faith is actually strengthened when we test and encourage another, or when we are tested and encouraged by another. This can be seen in common things like discussing or studying the word with one another, in times of keeping each other accountable to their responsibilities through suggestions or criticism. The sharpening of iron resulting in your growth will encourage you and bring you joy as you improve towards Christ-likeness and Christ-like character in your life. God wants us to grow close to those who will sharpen us. This can be friends or even older godly men or women in your lives. But at some point, as you grow to be more like Christ, you should also pursue to be the iron God uses to sharpen someone else. There's actually a balance in these relationships where you want to always have someone pouring into your life, and equally you should always want to be pouring into someone else's life. This will create an environment for relationships to strive, and one where Christ is exalted in everything that you do. So guys, please look for those relationships. Look for your parents to help in this. Evaluate the friends that you have and determine whether they're really good examples for you or not. Ask yourself if hanging out with someone is helping you grow to be more like Christ, or if they are encouraging sinful behavior. Think about that, guys. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Have an amazing day, and I seriously can't wait to see you all again. I miss you so much. Bye, guys.